Good evening, everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real, Section 5 Football. And this is our 13th episode. And I say this every time. We're just moving right along,
Yes, we are.
Paul and I. So first, I got to introduce my partner on my far right, Section 5 Hall of Famer, Paul Burgandy.
Hello, everyone, and thank you. And we're excited to have Kyle Fenn with us tonight.
Yep.
How's
And
that? Good to be here, guys.
the man in the middle today is Kyle Fenn from Riddell. We, as coaches, have known you, got to be 25 years.
At least, yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And,
I've been with it for 28, so.
Yeah. So just having Kyle on today. We just finished up our last episode with Danny Fichter, and that was the end of our rivals for now. And I'd like to thank all the coaches that came in, and we had a great time, and it was a lot bigger and better than I really expected. So I just want to say thank you again to all those coaches. You guys are just awesome. Appreciate it. So now today we're going to switch gears a little bit. We have Kyle here. Ben would write out, said 28
years.
Yep. Yeah. So it's been a minute. And we're just going to go over, the changes with football, with the equipment, uniforms, helmets, shoulder. Everything's changed so much. And we're going to get into that right now. So we're going to start off with Paul. Paul? Ready?
Sure, let's get started. Kyle, where are you from? Where did you grow up? And what was your sports background during your high school years?
Well, I grew up in Buffalo, Hamburg, actually. So I'm Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Sabre fan. And actually hockey is what I grew up doing, that and playing golf. And in 10th grade, my parents shipped me off to boarding school.
Okay.
So go figure on that. But yeah, so I went there, played hockey up in New Hampshire, and then got into the golf business for a little bit and got out of it quickly.
That could be frustrating. Yes.
No, and it's been 28 years with Riddell, so
Well,
a lot of changes have gone on.
Well, how did you get started with Riddell? How did that all get coordinated?
That's kind of a funny story. So I got out of the golf business, and I was like, what am I going to do now? And there was a company called Central Athletic Reconditioners. You guys might have heard of them. Out of Syracuse.
Okay.
And I got a job there. We were pretty much just a reconditioner. We weren't selling new equipment for the most part. A little bit of shut helmets here. Well, back then it was air helmet or bike. And I think I was there for two or 3 years. And my boss now was trying to get me to come over, and I was a little bit too loyal to the company I was with.
Uh-huh.
So Riddell said, "Oh, we'll just buy the company, and you can either come with us or not." So that's how I got started with Riddell. And actually, I've been in the Rochester area for the 28 years. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you mentioned how you got involved with in the football helmet industry. What other opportunities were you thinking about too, as a young man, as a possible career?
Well, my dad was a golf pro in Buffalo area, so I grew up on a golf course and played a lot of golf. So I actually got an assistant golf pro job at Skinny Alice Country Club.
Oh, okay.
Back in, I don't know, I was probably 21, 20, something like that. Did that for a couple of years. I don't know. Do you guys remember when Skinny Alice Country Club burned to the ground?
No.
Yeah.
What year was it?
Well, I was 20 then, so 1990, 92.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And you were involved.
Oh, yeah, I was driving to work in the morning. And,
you pull in.
no, that came on the radio. Skinny Alice Country Club burns down last night. Was going there to set up for a tournament we had. And
did you go, or did you turn around and go back home?
Well, that's a very interesting way of starting a new career change.
Yeah.
The forced career change.
Yeah. So then the next year we ended up, or for the rest of that year and beginning of the following year, while they were building the club burned to the ground. So we were in an airplane hangar.
Oh, okay.
So that was a different experience. And then I said, I don't know about the golf business.
Well,
so now I just play golf.
Well, I want to talk about what you do now. And basically, your job description. What does Riddell area rep for all of? Where does your area
Yeah,
cover?
so I cover all of Section 5 and then a portion of Section 6 over to Clarence area, and then down into Section 4, Elmira. I used to cover the Binghamton area, but I was going through the Syracuse reps territory to go to Binghamton, so I was like, all right, why don't you cover Binghamton, and I'll cover a little bit more into the Buffalo area.
Okay.
But for the first 22 years, I covered all of Section 5 and all of Section 4. So somewhere around that 100 schools. That's between colleges and
You do the colleges also.
the colleges within that area. So Hobart, U of R, Brockport, Alfred State, Alfred U,
Okay.
St. John Fisher.
Yep.
Yep. So started with that. And when I started with Riddell, we were pretty much helmet, shoulder pads, reconditioner, and practice cloth, practice gear stuff. Well, you guys remember, I still do it. I still pick it up.
No,
in
I know.
bags.
Oh, yeah, pack it up, and
I mean,
The back of the
tag
U-Haul
it.
trucks.
You don't go to the gym for 3 months, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I will say most of the coaches now, though, they're great about getting kids
kids would help.
as I get older.
Yeah, the back doesn't feel as
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
The
back's
knees.
tough to deal with, the knees, the ankles, So, but yeah, when I first started, that was pretty much it. I mean, 95% of our business were the helmets, the shoulder pads, and the reconditioning. But since then, we've gotten into custom uniforms, which actually a lot of the guys around Section 5 use it. I mean, it's a great uniform. And I mean, you guys know, remember basically a practice jersey was your game jersey?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Right.
changed a little bit now. So they're a little tighter.
Yeah,
Not tighter.
It takes two people to get it on the shoulder pad. Yeah. So yeah, and I've enjoyed it. I mean, Riddell's been great company to work for. I mean, everybody, there's headaches with every job, but they've been great to me and my family. So
Well, I mean, you talked about the reconditioning, and if you looked at your year, when the high school football season ends, you're starting the pickup for the reconditioning.
usually around the end of October. And it usually goes through till right around Christmas time.
Okay.
So the guys that either lost in the playoffs, I try to get them out as soon as possible. I mean, because now we do over 600,000 helmets a year.
Wow.
Throughout the country.
And where do you go with those? And then how long does the reconditioning process usually take? And I know, at least in the past, and this may have changed, there were certain helmets that would be rejected, and why would there be a rejection?
Yeah, that hasn't changed. The shelf life on a helmet, maximum shelf life is 10 years.
10 years.
Still 10.
If it makes it 10 years, it's automatically rejected. That's throughout the industry. It doesn't. It used to be Riddell was the only helmet that had a 10-year shelf life.
Okay.
But then Noxie came in and said, "Yeah, this is a good idea to have everybody do it that way."
Yeah.
But really, I mean, there's a 5-year shell warranty on the adult helmets.
Okay.
And then if the helmet's used year in and year out and reconditioned year in and year out, the average helmet usually lasts about 7 to 8 years. If used
Sounds
every
about
year.
right. Sounds about right.
And 10 years, that's a lot of,
It's a lot of football.
and actually that's for all the sports now.
Really?
Lacrosse is a 10-year maximum 10-year shelf life.
Hockey.
Hockey, it's a little different. Baseball,
Baseball, yeah.
So all the sports are like that now, and it's a good, from a protection standpoint, liability standpoint, it's good. It's good to have that 10-year shelf life. But yeah, there's been a lot of changes in the helmet and shoulder pad industry and the uniform industry.
And you do the reconditioning, and then you're the same people you picked up from. You got to return.
Correct.
You have that, and so that's what early spring.
So that's changed a little bit. I still pick it up because just the service I provide. There are some people or some reps in Riddell. They want us more using a company called Seco. They're a trucking company that'll come pick up the equipment after I bag or after the rep bags it.
Okay.
I'm one that wants to
Get it out of there.
Don't wait a week for bags. to get broken into or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
that kind of thing. So I still bring in the 15-foot Penske, take it up to a company called T-Force. It used to be UPS Freight up in the city, and load their trailers. It takes about 250 bags worth of helmets and shoulder pads, and then they take it to all my equipment goes to Cleveland, Ohio.
That's where
Our main plant
is
for manufacturing and reconditioning. We have plants throughout the United States. We got a small one in Pennsylvania. We got California, Texas. So I can't remember exactly how many plants it is, but the main plant is Cleveland. That's the main hub. And then our executive offices are in Chicago. Yeah.
I remember loading up trucks with you.
Oh, yeah. It's
unloading.
Fun, isn't it?
You know what? And with me, it's only one school. For you, it's whatever, 24/7. But it was enjoyable as far as that gave us, because we're friends, gave us a chance to talk, and
you get a chance to talk. And actually, during the reconditioning pickup, I mean, that's my time to try to get your new helmets now. Let's get them.
Yeah, let's get them
rolling. I mean, and during COVID, there was a lot of, in every industry.
That had to be a whole nightmare for everybody.
That was brutal with supply chain issues.
That,
but that wasn't just Riddell. It was the other manufacturers. I mean, that was a tough couple of years there.
Yeah.
But, during the pickups, it's good to chat with the coaches, and because for 2 months, you're not going to see me because after I go to your place.
And I know, that is a big portion of the postseason is doing the reconditioning. And then I also know, we've seen you at the New York State High School Football Coaches Clinic in Turning Stone.
Yep.
And, you have your exhibits. And then after the reconditioning, what does the next part of the year go? You talked about some of the ordering for newer equipment, and is it more sales or what?
Yeah, it's still more sales now that we're into the uniform business. A lot of that happens after the reconditioning. And it's not just football anymore. We have uniforms in all the major sports: baseball, lacrosse, hockey, basketball.
Yep.
So wrestling, track and field.
You guys cover a lot of different.
Yeah.
And are you involved with all those sports?
Yeah, but I mean, Riddell's recognized as a football company. So probably 80% of my sales are all football related. I mean, we have a bunch of vendors now that we deal with. Rogers, we sell Rogers sleds and blocking equipment. But I mean, there are some schools that have taken a liking to the Riddell football uniform and then say, Kyle, what about baseball? Can you talk to us about,
Okay.
So we're making inroads.
That's
It's difficult to get ahead of the Nikes and the Adidas in other sports, So, and they've been around forever doing every sport.
And I wanted to ask that, and I know we're going to get into some of the equipment issues, but how many companies make football helmets now anymore?
Well, it was down to, I think, 2.
Oh.
Schutt and us.
Riddell.
And Schutt used to be Air, and before that, Bike.
Yep.
Now there's Schutt, Riddell, a company called Zenith,
Okay.
a company called Visus.
Never even heard of them.
Yeah.
So they're newer, a lot of those are newer.
If you're a Patrick Mahomes fan, which I'm not, he wears that's the helmet that cracked.
Oh yes.
During the playoffs.
Yep.
Which it's not always a bad thing for the helmet to crack, because then it's kind of doing its job, but you don't want them cracking. That would be great if the helmet's cracked every game. I would just sit on the sidelines.
Yeah, because I have one of the helmets that I think I wore back in the 70s was Wilson, the sporting goods, football, and they're no longer in the production of helmets.
No, the only other company, it's a company called Light, Light. So yeah, there used to be a ton. Rawlings used to
Rawlings
have
and other sporting goods.
Rawlings.
They were a sporting goods company.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know they make football with Spalding. Were they ever involved with helmets or no?
Football helmets, no. Not that I'm aware of. No. Yeah, the Rawlings, the Wilson. I'm trying to think. Oh, Nakona, Max Pro.
Wow. So
So back in the day, I mean, there were more manufacturers, but you're taking on a lot of liability. I mean, that's what a lot of the money,
is
the cost of the helmet. I mean, is liability issues. You know, because it's a Sioux hat.
That's where we are.
Well, let's get into some of the equipment evolutions, and you've seen a lot then from when you first started and what they do. Some of the improvements, safety features, whatever that they're.
I mean, what was it? Leather.
Leather,
and then I mean, when I played, I wore the DSR 1, which I don't know when the last time this was manufactured. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, this was your top of the line helmet, along with the Shut Air Pro.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little different now.
This was one again in the late, the mid to later '70s.
Wilson, right?
That was the Wilson, and that was the inside of it there.
Yeah. There's water bladders.
You mentioned
what we were talking earlier.
mentioned Johnny had one. You played with a water helmet, didn't you?
Well, my first helmet was a suspension.
Yeah.
For people out there, younger kid, you have no idea what these things were. They're basically the shell with like
strings.
Yep. And,
it hurt when you got hit.
Oh God, that hurts. And then my second helmet after that was the water helmet.
Oh yeah.
Those things weighed a ton, but we thought they were so cool.
They were cool. They were comfortable when they warmed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those things weighed a ton.
Yeah, it's amazing the technology.
And you had those air ones that you were always pumping
up.
Yeah,
which that's still involved. I mean, there's still, because from an affordability standpoint, air is still part of it. Although there are, I'll explain some of the new helmets, but
this was you said this was the Revolution, and then they probably sold this to what year would you say these were stopped?
Probably 12 years ago.
That they stopped
give or take,
the Revolutions. I remember because at that time, I think when
that was the state of the art helmet.
I sold the Riddell, Revolution helmets that was the way to go.
Yeah, we sold you guys those.
Yep.
And it was a great helmet in that time period.
They got the date on the inside of that one.
Oh,
you see it, Kyle?
Where is it?
2012.
2012. Okay, so this would have been a reject. This is definitely a reject.
That's definitely a reject. But when you think about it, that's not that long.
No, it's not.
It's not really that long ago. And not each year, but each couple of years, there's more and more technology. All the companies are doing their part to make the game better and safer. So, I mean.
Is this the most current one?
This is the one we sell the most of. It's the Flex helmet.
Oh yeah.
So you've seen those on
if you take
the games.
If you look at that, and then the Revolution,
what they did to.
So on the face mask, everything can flex, as opposed to taking the brunt of the blow. If you get hit in the front, and everything flexes. The design crack in the front is so that the helmet will disperse the blow to the sides. Everything are quick release pins now. So it used to be a screwdriver. Now, if a player does need to get the mask off, it's just a quick.
So you can get those on and off a
lot quicker than.
I remember getting the screwdriver.
Yeah, you get a clip.
Right, Nick, and it just keeps turning.
Right, you have a clip that breaks, and now you're, wow.
So last year, or 2 years ago now, Riddell came out with the Axiom helmet. Unfortunately, I don't have that sample, but it's basically the Flex helmet with more design cracks in it on purpose for, again, dispersion. And it's actually a non-air helmet. You were talking about the air. So we actually put this scanning hood on players' heads. And yes, it does fit over there.
Even over mine?
Yeah, it'll fit over yours. Let's see it.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
So this part is going over your head, and then your face is going to come out here. I can't wait to see
Yeah, I
it.
want to see this.
So my
too.
head's gonna go in here like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, and it'll stretch.
It better.
Yeah, it's getting on. You're like, look at,
There you go.
wow.
And then pull that down under your chin.
Mm-hmm.
No, and then we'll bring this up a little bit.
Wow.
So basically, I don't have my tags to do it, but on your iPhone, on an iPhone or an iPad, you actually probably should be in the extra large version. But basically, it takes a variety of pictures all the way around the head, and then we build the helmet around that, and it's that individual's helmet.
So it's more like custom
It's
to,
custom.
to
It's
their,
for that-
their
right.
head size.
Everybody would have their own fit.
Right.
Right.
The difference, so at the NFL level, before we came out with the Axiom, we had what we call the precision fit.
Mm-hmm.
That was designed and it could only fit that player's head.
Okay.
The Axiom now is a great helmet because, say you're a sophomore and you get one of the Axiom helmets, you wear it for those 3 years that you're there. And then when you leave, as long as the next player in line is in the same shell size, we rescan that player's head, and then we can manipulate the padding to fit him.
So this will form to the next.
But is that adjusted every year for the?
No.
Oh, so it's not.
No, as long as the play, unless his head changes dramatically, which by the time you're, I think it's 7th, 8th, 9th grade.
It does. You don't
Your
get that
head's
much of
pretty
it.
much,
It's not much of a change.
There you go. How'd that feel, buddy?
Oh,
Things I do. Things I do. Holy.
Wow.
And it takes about, it takes about 5 minutes to scan the player's head.
Okay.
So, but it's a great helmet. I mean, it's every player that I've gotten it in, which hasn't been a ton because it's also not an inexpensive helmet. It's,
Right.
You said,
it's about $700, $750, depending on the paint.
Kyle, just like how, in the auto industry, different things are coming out in Detroit or whatever, and in the Riddell and the helmet industry equipment, do you go? Do they have these? I don't know. I guess clinics that are showing you the latest models and what?
There's a bunch of shows.
You have a lot of the.
I mean, I don't go to the national shows. I stick to the New York State Coaches Show, the New York State AD Show. I've been to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Back when they had they still have them, the Glazier clinics.
Right, I remember the Glazier clinics.
So we used to go to those.
Right. But as far as how they're passing the latest technology onto you guys, and how that information is being,
as far as the reps would,
right,
they're very good about that.
Every year, have something going to be coming out, like a new model of a car.
We usually find that out at our sales meeting, which is always depending on the year. It's usually this year. It's at the end of September. I don't remember how many. I think we have 270-ish reps right now, and we all meet. This year it's in Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
And if there's any new product coming out for the following year, that's when it gets.
Mm-hmm.
We get the updates. And if there's any changes to products, they'll have teams meetings and whatnot. So,
what is the biggest change you've seen in your years at Riddell as far as equipment wise from when you started to now? Is it the helmets?
It's just the growing technology. I mean, the companies they just continue to get better and better with technology.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like any industry, the golf industry. You can hit a driver 400 yards. Right? But yeah, I mean, it's mostly in the helmets. Shoulder pads.
You said the shoulder pads a little bit.
Yeah,
too?
I mean, you remember the old shoulder pads where the bigger you were, the better. Yeah, that's changed.
Yes.
Now these kids want to wear a lacrosse shoulder pad, and the smaller.
Things to grab onto.
So you used to have that flap and then that cup that goes over your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we still have those, but a lot of our models now are what we call our stack system, STAC.
Okay.
And that epaulette and the shoulder cup are one unit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more mobility. And you used to have the strings.
Yeah.
And then the stuff in the back. Now everything is not bolted in, screwed in, basically.
So you just kind of slip yourself into it.
Right, and it moves with your movement.
Okay.
You know.
And I watch these in these games, and I know like a lot of these helmets now. You have the 4-prong, the chin straps. Compared to the old 2, and again. But I'm watching games, and I've seen helmets pop off, and I'm wondering how's that happening with the
improper fitting.
I was wondering
it depends. There's a lot of different ways.
Because I don't know if the guys just like what you're bringing up, if they're just doing it to raise up and get their helmet off easier or whatever, but they're not.
I think when we played, we got fitted. Our coaches put us in the helmets. I mean, our chin strap was on. They were. I mean, you couldn't even open your mouth.
Yeah.
Right.
And the helmets were tight.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's not a cap. This is protecting you. And kids, they want the comfort plus the protection. It's like you don't get that all
right. Yeah. But that's why this new helmet.
Yes.
You'll have it fit.
Yeah. I mean, not to say there can't be an issue and it has to be refitted.
Yeah.
But now you have a helmet that's designed around your head, and you don't have to worry about air or anything.
Remember taking your helmet off and you get that mark on your.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
That means there's blood flowing through.
But I think the safety improvements are been
they're
just
astronomical.
It's what they've done, and since even when you started.
Well, and we even have a tool. It's called Insight. So it's a thing that's inside you don't know, you wouldn't even know it's there. It's a thin piece, and it actually. And then there's our alert monitor that either a coach wears or it's not a diagnostic tool for a concussion or anything, but once you take it back and plug it into your computer, you can see where every kid that has that technology, where he took a hit that game or that practice. And it's a great tool. I mean, when I had the Binghamton area, we had just come out with that Insight technology. And I can't remember the school now, but there was a couple. The trainer had told me there was a couple of kids complaining about their neck. Well, they found out that about 85% of their hits were to the top of the head.
Oh, okay.
So no concussion that I'm aware of. But so it's a good coaching tool too, because if it's a day where, well, you guys know now, there's not a lot of hitting that goes on.
No, they reduced a lot of
which
contact,
is good.
So I think the kids only hit once a week now.
Yeah, I think most schools, yeah.
It's different, right? But that is definitely.
But
and even the colleges, right? I mean, they don't do the double or triple sessions, back to back.
But now that the colleges do, or D3s have spring ball now, which is good. It kind of gets So, I mean, if it's a day where you're not hitting, and you go in and plug the alert monitor into your computer, and Johnny has 38 hits to the side of his head, it's like, okay, I think we have to go talk to Johnny.
That's good though. It's right on the spot technology.
Right, exactly.
And that's only going to make the game safer.
Right, and that's what the manufacturers and Noxie and coaches want. Yeah.
Oh, good. Again, it's an improvement for the game.
Yep.
That's good. I was just going to ask you something else that just slipped my mind.
Uh-oh.
Let me think. Oh, pants. When we played, the pants, I mean, I had thigh pads. I thought I was Earl Campbell. Remember?
The
Earl Campbell had those thigh pads.
Right, the big guys pads that were out about here.
Yeah, that's changed a little too. I mean, now it's you can get a 5-padded girdle.
Yeah.
That the pads are already in sewn in, and then some of our pants have knee pads already sewn in. So, and they're a lot lighter and a lot less bulky. Although you can still get the bulky ones. I've seen them in catalogs.
I know, I see them.
Yeah.
They're way, way down in the bucket.
And you guys, I'm pretty sure when you played, didn't you have the game jerseys where they snap?
Oh, I remember. Right? Yeah, that was button them up, and they were attached so the jersey would stay inside.
Right, and now everybody's wearing the waistline.
Yes, right.
They've
They've done a lot of different things with the jersey, and you had mentioned how some of those are basically skin tight.
Oh yeah,
on now and
I mean, you don't need the double-sided tape anymore.
They're just made.
They're just made to be tight.
And I noticed like the sleeves. There's not even sleeves on the jersey.
Oh no, it just
open.
Just tucks underneath that shoulder pad. Yes, again for less grabbing.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all that.
Well, very interesting stuff. We enjoyed that.
What else do you got coming up? You got anything else on that might be? I know helmets are always changing. I know the technology and
helmets are always changing. There's shoulder pads are changing a decent amount, but I mean we're just going to continue to strive with this Insight technology and the Axiom. I'm sure there'll be tweaks to it because again, you always have to be looking to see what you can do to make the game safer.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Well.
I was going to basically say, you talked about the large number of schools and colleges you deal with. Do you pretty much deal with all Monroe County? Is there pretty much all the schools?
Yeah, all Monroe County. I do
County.
have.
Yeah, the city. Right?
The city
Monroe County.
Greece.
How about like Livingston and those?
Livingston, yep. I cover all that. Newark, Wayne,
Section 5.
All of Section 5.
Pretty much all of Section 5.
And I know 90% of them. So yeah, it's been a great career.
Well,
my back's getting tired.
Well, it's a big operation, and you've done a fantastic job with it. And that was one of the reasons we wanted to have you on today.
No, and I appreciate you having me on. It's definitely
passing that information out to the listeners. And, things, and appreciate your work that you do.
I appreciate you. Yes, I appreciate you.
It's like we said. Our channel, this is informational, and I think having you on the information. I know a lot of the players out there, the younger kids, probably don't. They get a little of it, but it's basically for the coaches.
Oh yeah,
ADs. The older people that have to deal with it.
Yeah, and those are the people that you should be getting it out.
Yeah. So, anyways, right now I have to put my glasses on for this.
Do you want to put the hood on now too?
No, the hood is done. I can't wait until I see the hood.
He definitely.
Yeah, I should have brought the extra large.
He's going to have a nightmare of.
I thought my head was swollen.
But you did see that it does stretch out.
Oh yeah, I mean, is this going to stretch over this? Yeah, it stretches over anything.
Right. God. That's a good.
Holy Christ! So, anyways, I didn't say this earlier, but I didn't, so I got to say it now. If you're watching our channel, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please get in there and subscribe. You can hear stuff like this, every 2 weeks, and it just makes our channel grow, and it just benefits us as a whole. Right now, I just want to go over our sponsors because we have a little time to do that. And I haven't gone over sponsors. Our first one is G Athletics.
G
Athletics. Giordano.
Giordano Athletics. How is Coach Giordano? I haven't seen him in a while.
Actually, our last episode with Coach Victor, when we had Victor on, at one moment in the episode, I said, this is turning into a George Giordano episode. We just started talking. And then I looked, and I was like, you know what? We all coached under George.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Paul, me, and Danny. We all were.
Yeah, he's been at it a while.
So it turned into a George G show for a little bit, but I had to get it off real quick. So, anyways, we got G Athletics, and what we're going to do with that is now that football is starting earlier. Starting August 19th officially.
Yeah, first day of practice.
First day of practice, yep. They're moving all the camps back. And I was waiting for G to give me a a text or something.
Well, we got to get the dates, the exact dates.
The dates of the West Side Camp. He runs the West Side Camp
Yeah.
up at Olympia.
Yep.
And Paul and I are going to be up there this year.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and we're going to, there's 12 teams. We're going to interview 4 teams a night.
Nice.
And get them on, get the coaches on, and players.
Oh, that'll
get
be
a little preseason and update on all their programs for the upcoming season.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
We're moving along.
I mean, Paul and I were just sitting down, and here we are. We're doing June. We're in June stuff, and then July we were just talking about what we had plans in July as far as the show. Not positive, but right now we're talking about doing it once a week in July.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because we're getting closer to the season then.
Right.
And names that we've been kind of throwing around a little bit is Ben Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Have him in, and Dave Whitcomb.
Oh, Dave.
Yes.
I used to coach with Dave.
Oh, really?
When
You coached?
When he was at Midlakes. Yeah.
Oh, Midlakes,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Because he's been around for a long time, and he's closing in on most Section 5 wins.
Yes, he is.
Right, he's back at Midlakes.
Yep. It all goes round and round. Right?
Yep.
Full circle, is it?
Yep. So then after that, I think we mentioned to you earlier that during the season, we're going to be broadcasting up at Premier Sports in Greece Ridge Mall
Right.
with Joe Muno. And that is going to be, we're going to talk about the games that were just played the week, and the upcoming games of the week that are coming up, those games. And we're going to give out a Player of the Week award.
Oh, great. Great.
So we're going to have coaches are going to send in nominations on their players. And then not Paul and I, we have another couple, a couple other guys. They're going to be in charge of that.
Oh, nice.
And they're going to pick that. And along with that, when the young man shows up and we give him that, we have another sponsor is Howie over at Sticky Lips.
Oh,
Howie
okay.
Nielsen.
Yeah.
And Howie's been gracious enough to give us gift certificates to the young man.
Nice.
So him and his family or him and his girlfriend or whoever
Very nice.
can go up and have a nice little meal.
It's a good little restaurant, actually.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we have is Under the Radar. Now, this one you don't really know, but Paul does. One of his former players, Ronnie Crawford, who I work with up at Northeast.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever bumped into Ronnie.
I don't know. Maybe if I saw him.
Yeah. He runs a private security company.
Oh, okay.
And him and Diego, they run this private security, and it's for people for their personal needs, or something as far as whatever needs you need as far as security.
Right.
They're the guys to talk to. After that, we have is Rochester Jewelry and Tech, and that one just started up a couple weeks ago. That's my niece, Brooklyn, her husband Toga.
Okay.
Opened up a place right across from Greece Ridge Mall on Mount Reed, that plaza.
Oh, yeah, I know where you're talking about.
Right over there. He's in that plaza, and he just started up. And he just said to me, you just have people come in. If they mention the show, we'll give them, little things here and there for mentioning the show. So that's a little of that. The other one I have is Making a Splash. I don't know if you've ever met him. That's my brother, Dan Marola.
I don't know if I've met him.
He runs, he does pool liners in the summer.
Oh, okay.
So he's told me to let people know if you want to have a liner redone or in your pool, and this is the time of the year to do it, then he'll give them $100 off on the cost of the
I have
liner.
to get a pool first.
That would be helpful.
That's a start.
That would definitely be helpful. And our other one after that we just picked up was all of our Keeping It Real stuff is from Custo's Print. It's on West Ridge Road. It's in the street of shops. It's over by if you're looking at Hooligans, that little plaza next to it.
Okay.
It's right in there.
Okay. Yeah, I know where Hooligans is.
Yep, it's right in there. And Kendall Miller, he's running it out there, and it's like a family-owned business, and he's been super.
Really?
Very supportive.
Very, very, awesome. So after that, I'm just about done. I think I just went through everybody. Yep.
You better have.
I hope so. You good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Thank you for being here.
There you go.
It's good seeing you guys.
Good
I
seeing
appreciate
you.
it.
I really
Appreciate you having me
appreciate
in.
Great job, Kyle.
Thank you,
Great
guys.
job.
Appreciate it.
Now, like I say, at the end, right now,
No.
I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna turn and say, "Keep it real." Section.
And
5.
Jenny, make sure you remind the viewers about the picture montage. At the
Oh
end,
my God, yes.
At
Holy
the end,
cow.
at the end of this podcast.
I told you, like, I've done this editing stuff,
Right.
and not my world, but Nick Taranko, Nick, you're my man. He's got me involved, in doing this, and it's really starting to come around. What we've done is we put at the end of our show, when this ends right now,
Okay.
at the end with the credits, we have a picture collage.
Oh, nice.
Great. We
And
keep adding to it as other people send pictures in
Nice.
to us. And,
I have about 20 or 25 pictures that pop up and
Pop
go
up
through.
and go through.
And
Nice.
people send me in stuff. So if you do have any pictures, please send them to me. It's in the credits, but I'll give you my email is jmarola4747@gmail.com. Or we eventually are going to get into call-ins. We have a
Oh, nice.
we have a number.
a
That could
line
be
now.
interesting.
That's absolutely.
We got to keep G off of that. So
Oh, you can't block numbers?
Yeah, right.
actually, yeah,
You know what? Maybe.
So that's what we got going on. Just stay tuned, and on our next show, like I said, this is so far out for us right now that we are talking, about getting things more wrapped up in July as far as what we're going to do. And stay tuned.
All right.
You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Keeping it real, Section 5 football.
Good night. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
That's great.